Alameen cured Hassan and Hussein. And Fatima Zahra and Amir Mu'mineen, they did the nadr and started fasting. They fasted for 3 days. On the first day, when they had bread, because all they ate was bread, not meat and hot wings. And so they had bread. And so when they were trying to eat the bread, the first day, a poor man came and knocked the door, and he said, "I'm poor, I don't have money, can you please feed me?" So they gave him their dinner for the whole day, they haven't eaten, and they gave it to the poor man. Second day, same thing, but this time an orphan came. When the orphan came, they gave him their food, and they have been fasting, think of it, 2 days, no water, no food. Third day, they were about to eat, and a captive knocked on the door. "Please have food." There you go. And so Rasulullah came in, and he saw that his Ahlul Bayt were starving. They didn't have any food for 3 days. So he asked, "What is wrong?" He said, we haven't had food, we've been fasting for a vow, and every time we're helping needy people because they are more needy than we are." So in that case, Allah Azza wa Jal brought down 5 ayahs in Surah Al-Dahr. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا. And then they go on and say إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء أو شكورا. They are feeding these people for the sake of Allah, not seeking reward or things. And seeing that how they were patient with each other, showing how they're merciful towards each other. Fatima Zahra wasn't whining about, "Hey, I haven't had food for 3 days, can you please feed me?" No, they were working with each other for the love of Allah. And that's how relationships should be. There should be love and mercy between each other, and then to Allah, together to help you in your love for Allah. So in just one instance, Allah brought down 5 ayahs of the Quran in Ahlul Bayt. And here we see their patience together. Another thing is the Fatima Zahra, as we see her, is a great woman. For both, she's an example. Imam Mahdi Ajallahu Ta'ala Faraja says that Walid fi binti Rasulillah iswatan hasana means, and for me, and the daughter of the Prophet is a good example. He's a guy, and how would he find a good example in a woman? However, for women, we're going to be discussing how she's a role model for women and men together at the same time. For women, they always said that Fatima Zahra, when she lived in the Prophet's house, she would ask the Prophet questions. She would learn from him and gain knowledge. So Islam doesn't forbid women from getting knowledge. Islam wants a woman that is educated. She raised her kids, and as we all know, Imam Hussein, Hassan, and Sayyidah Zainab were raised in the best of the houses and to the best of akhlaq. Another thing is she was a good wife for Imam Ali, like we said. She was patient with him through the hardships and everything. For men, her qualities was she actually gave men something to look for, like to look for qualities in a woman who's patient, who doesn't ask for much, who doesn't whine, and another thing she did was she defended her honor. She was considered the first Shahida in the way of Imamat. How that was, she was capable, Fatima Zahra was capable of leading a revolution if it had required her. And that's why we see her daughter, Sayyidah Zainab, which grew up in her house, was when she was taken in Karbala, she led the revolution. She was fighting Yazid, she was fighting them. And so women were supposed to be modest and pure, but at the same time, when in need, they need to be strong. Fatima Zahra, when Imam Ali was taking from his house to do the bay'ah, actually left her house and went and gave a speech at the masjid to say that Allah Azza wa Jal cursed the people of Salih for killing the camel. And if I pray against you, Allah would do worse than what he did to the people of Salih. So here, where she is making them fear her because she's a strong woman, yet she's still pious. When Imam Ali, when she died, Fatima Zahra, when she died at a young age, she was still a beautiful flower, but she was taken so early. He used to love her so much that when he used to go to her grave, after her death, he would recite lines of poetry on her grave. And actually, I have some of the lines that he would recite. And so you can hear the love in between them. Imam Ali says, "Nafsi ala zafaratiha mahbusa, ya laytaha kharajat ma'a zafarati. La khayra ba'daki fil hayati wa innama abki makhafata an tatula hayati." Which roughly translates to, "My soul is trapped in my exhale, in his breaths. I wish that it relinquishes with regrets. Life is meaningless after you." And that is why I cry, dreading an extended life before death. So he wanted his life to be short because he wanted to be reunited with her, because there is no good in the world after her and the Prophet had died. Another thing he has also said is, "Habibun bata yaksiruni al-habibu, wa ma li suwahu fi qalbi nasib. Habibun ghaba an ayni wa jismi, wa an qalbi habibun la yaghib." This one translates to, "My beloved has intrigued me, my beloved, and none after her will my heart revere. My beloved has disappeared from my eyes and body, but from my heart she will never disappear." And in these lines of poetry, we see how Imam Ali loved Fatima Zahra so much that even after she had died, he still remained loyal to her. And he never married when she was alive. And that shows how they were working together as a family without having any problems or mistakes in between. And this is where the love and mercy come up. So we see here that Imam Ali and Fatima Zahra were always loving and merciful of each other, never demanding, never doing anything. And in conclusion, that's the conclusion. So may Allah give us all the blessings of Fatima Zahra on the Day of Judgment, and may she intercede for our sins, and may all the single men and women be given good wives and husbands, and inshallah, that's the thing we should look for, love and mercy. And as a conclusion, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, wa salatu wa salam ala ashraf al-khalq ajma'in, habibillah al-alameen, Abu al-Qasim Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
MashaAllah. And now I'd like to bring up poetry from late brother Ali Shakir, Ali Hanif, and Hanif.
Does anyone have a poem? You got it. صلوات على محمد وآله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
I wrote it's small compared to his beautiful speech, but I'll see if you guys will acknowledge. This is my poem I wrote. It's called "The Perfect Couple." It is said in today's society that relationships are never perfect. Is she worth it? My stomach's turning. Everything's shifting in my life. I'm feeling anamorphic. But when I'm down and confused, there's one relationship that I relate with. The man from whom I was named and a woman named Fatima. Total confidence and respect. He never lied to her. True love made with two doves brought from two different migrations. Love's plan was only the law's creation. And when I want to smell the scent of paradise, I bud to smell Fatima's neck. A beautiful analogy from one whose love, not of life, but of death. I love neither lust nor wealth, and nothing of dependency. Vibrations, they bounce off each other, elevated mentally. Matchmaker Allah, my Rabb, my God. I pray that you bless all us young men who are pure Fatimas. And I pray that all the young